So if someone were out there listening to this saying, I got gut issues, I'm like most of the Americans out there, have something wrong and something associated with that
I'm an
fatigue,
expert. I still do, unless I go in the middle of a jungle and do nothing for 2 weeks.
which you just did,
I
that's
just,
why you're feeling so great. Because yeah, I
I
mean,
look
we
great.
all
My
can't
skin
do
is
that,
like
right?
radiant.
Yeah.
Right.
I wish we could. And I talked about how I feel more people should travel with you as well before this started.
Right.
But
Exactly.
what can we do to start to understand the why?
So another why, I'd like to share, is because if the damage has happened to our cranial structure in utero, that means even for women, our eggs, they're all shaped in utero when our moms were born with their moms in utero. This is how far back our legacy of DNA goes, and that's to perpetuate our species, right? It's setting up for the externals, like what are the signals in the environment? How are we going to shape this new generation so they survive and thrive, not just survive, but thrive.
Yes.
We're epigenetically going to shift all these things, make them super fat. So if they eat a morsel of energy, they'll hold it and not starve and die. And they'll be able to have babies despite that, no PCOS, no whatever, and still have babies and push the DNA forward and, maximize our territory on Earth and things. So I think we have to go all the way back and look at epigenetics, and shift some of that. We need the inputs of abundance so our cells can say, oh, okay, hey, we can relax. We can be longevity now instead of just survival, thrival, thriving, but super thriving, but not the survival part. Survival, energy takes away from our energy body. It's very primal. It sits only in our sacral chakra, according to yogic traditions and Vedic traditions, and they're very draining. Having lack, having feelings of anger, jealousy, envy, resentments. As we know, even anger, it will wipe out someone's gallbladder. You don't need to have
Mhm.
like tolerance, to wipe out your gallbladder. It's our emotional body. They're energy, and they will sap energy from other organ systems in order to like kind of be processed. Some people process and some people, don't necessarily process. And it's probably a lot of epigenetic too. We already know that. Holocaust survivors, their next generations are super diabetic
Hmm.
unless their nervous system has somehow regulated and those epigenetic changes don't happen. It doesn't happen to all, Holocaust survivors and their children and grandchildren. So it's so interesting to see how we can shift things like meditation. We know it'll raise telomeres by 6 years in length for life. Just a little, meditation a week. We know that that's energy. That's our mindset. It's our nervous system. Yeah, so I've really, shifted some of my gut healing to the vagus nerve predominantly, and a lot of Stephen Porges and polyvagal theory, because the ultimate is our nervous system. If
Hmm.
I think we can harness that power to change the epigenetics when our nervous system has the safety and this sense of environmental abundance, then it can go to like, okay, we're not in lack, we're not in scarcity. We can let go of those switches. Like, okay, I don't have to be insulin resistant. I can be sensitive and like liberate fat when we need it at a moment's, notice without Ozempic.
Yes.
I love
Ozempic.
Ozempic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
It's
Ozempic.
it's great to hear someone with a pharmaceutical background, functional medicine background, talk about these things and connect it in a holistic way from generational trauma to the gut to the nervous system, right? And to emotions. Because we can't just look at it and say it's just let's try and repopulate your microbiome correctly and that's it. And you'll have a perfect gut if we do that. But the truth of the matter is then you're just looking at things in the vacuum. You're not looking at how the body works as a whole, that the emotions trigger through the nervous system, impact the gut microbiome itself. You could feed all the great microbiome you want in there, the bacteria, but
Yeah.
if you're not creating the environment by the thoughts, the emotions, the trauma you have by down regulating the nervous system, which is always sympathetic and always activated, then you can't digest anyway, and it's for naught, and all those good bacteria will not survive, correct?
Exactly. Yes, exactly.